What is going on, guys? Jason Burke here, Styles Clash for Life, coming at you on YouTube, and today I've got some football focus. We had the Week 14 matchup between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Buffalo Bills, and this was a good time. I really enjoyed this one as a Steeler fan. I'm going to try and bring you guys this breakdown review of the game very quickly because I am sick. I do have quite the flu I came down with this week, so I'm trying to get over that. And being Christmas and everything, I'm buying gifts for everyone. Life is busy. So I will try and bring you guys this. So if I do sniffle or sneeze or cough, you know that I am not sick of you YouTube fans or your comments. I am just sick of the flu. And someone else that was sick in this game was Le'Veon Bell. Oh my God, what a disgustingly awesome performance out of Le'Veon Bell. So again, real quick, just going to bring you guys the Week 14 matchup review between the Steelers and the Bills. Final score of this game was 27-20. I'm reading my notes here on the side. That's why I keep looking over this way. Final score of this game was 27-20. Steelers got the victory, but it was not even as close as the score dictates at all. This game was really dominated by the Steelers, much as the last three have been. This is now the fourth win in a row for the Steelers. Might I add once again, I keep saying this every single week. I'm going to say it until we lose. I predicted us 5 weeks ago, whatever it was, to go 7-0 in our last 7 and finish 11-5. So far, I'm 4 for 4. We've won 4 in a row. We have 3 more to go. We have the Bengals, Ravens, and then Browns, so we should be able to go 7-0. But again, fourth straight win for the Steelers, and 27-20 does not indicate how far apart this game actually was. Pittsburgh dominated this whole thing. Time of possession, dominating the clock, handling the ball in long drives. If it wasn't for Ben Roethlisberger's untimely 3 interceptions in this snow game, we would have won this game by 40. I mean, this was a dominant Steeler performance. I mean, they held the ball the entire time. The defense played very, very well until like mid-fourth quarter. 3.5 quarters, they played excellently. Both sides of the ball just totally Team Steelers. But Ben Roethlisberger was just very off today. I mean, it was a very cold game. It was snowing like crazy. The wind was blowing like crazy. A few balls slipped out of his fingers. You could tell that he was a little off today. It was just the inclement weather and everything with the wind and the snow. Everything was wet and slick, so I can forgive that. But Ben did his best effort to almost cost us this game today. He is the reason why, objectively, why the Bills almost came back and made this a game toward the end. So his final stats for today were 17 of 31 for 220 yards, no touchdowns, 3 interceptions. So yes, no passing touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Obviously, Pittsburgh got their points. You might wonder how. We'll get to Le'Veon Bell in a second because this game was once again, as the last 3 games in a row have been, the Le'Veon Bell show. Pittsburgh is now the team of the old again. Pittsburgh is back to the Jerome Bettis days of pounding the football and playing defense. They are running the ball like crazy. They're passing very short and intermittently down the field. They're using screens to Brown. They're using Bell as a receiver in the slot. And they're handing the ball to Bell. Bell's getting 35, 40 touches a game, and Brown might get 4 or 5 catches, and that's really all the offense does. It's kind of a dink and dunk offense now, with a couple of big plays here and there by Ladarius Green, Antonio Brown, or a guest player. But essentially, this offense is Roethlisberger managing the game and using Brown to the best of his ability, while Le'Veon Bell carries the ball and runs the clock, and we would just play defense. So this Steelers reminds me of the Super Bowl winning Steelers with Jerome Bettis. Reminds me of the old heyday Steelers. This is definitely your grandfather's style of offense, but they still find a way to make it fun because Le'Veon Bell is so good and Antonio Brown is so good. Excuse me, again, I'm sick. But again, so Ben Roethlisberger, no touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Early on, Pittsburgh was up 7-0. Ben threw a interception in the red zone, like the 10-yard line, bad throw, and then we came down and scored again. The defense, William Gay had an interception return for a touchdown that was called back. They could have been 14-0. Pittsburgh did eventually get to 14-0, but then the Bills came back and answered off another Ben Roethlisberger interception, and then he added a 3rd interception in the 4th. And he also had another deep pass down the middle that should have been intercepted for a 4th pick that wasn't. So, Ben just threw some bad balls today. He misread a couple things. I think the receivers were on different pages. Both times, whether it was Ladarius Green or Antonio Brown, made an outside cut and Ben threw the ball inside, which caused interceptions at very untimely places on the field. So that kept us from being much more dominant in this game. But even with the score 27-20, the game was always in Pittsburgh's hands for the most part. Buffalo didn't really get going until later on in the game. Again, very quiet through 3.5 quarters. Tyrod Taylor finished with around 240 passing. He had 2 touchdowns. Did throw 1 interception that was kept on the board, plus the one that was taken back by William Gay. But offensively, again, this was once again the Le'Veon Bell show. This was the 4th consecutive game that Bell was over 100 yards rushing. He is the first Steeler to do that since Jerome Bettis did it in 2004. He also set the single-game rushing record for the Steelers and the single-game highest total put up against the Bills in franchise history. So major kudos. Le'Veon Bell was ridiculous today. Stats, 38 carries, 236 yards, 3 rushing touchdowns. Now, those are not Ben's numbers passing. Those are Le'Veon Bell's numbers rushing. 38 rushes, 236 yards, 3 rushing touchdowns on the ground, plus 4 more catches for 62 more yards. So Bell totaled over 300 yards total offense in this game. He totaled more by himself, over 300 yards alone from scrimmage, did Le'Veon Bell, more than the entire rest of the Steelers' offense. Le'Veon Bell was ridiculous. While we're talking about big pluses on offense, major ups to the offensive line. B.J. Finney came in today, filled in for, I think it was Gilbert that he filled in for. B.J. Finney came in and played great. He was amazing. They were using the pull guards to do the sprint outs. They would hand the ball off to Bell. He would skip in the hole and find an inside crease, or they would pull guard with David DeCastro, who played amazing today. Pouncey was good. DeCastro was great, and Finney was great. They would pull those 2 guards and just have Bell scamper around the outside, break a tackle, and just go. He was just finding holes. He was breaking tackles like crazy. He was finding a way to go start inside, then cut back outside. His footwork was amazing, and the offensive line played probably their best game of the year, at least rushing the ball. They protected Ben pretty well too. I don't think he was sacked. If he was, it wasn't more than once. But the rush blocking for this team today was amazing. And Finney coming in, being a bench player that doesn't usually get to see any time at all, played amazing today. So big ups to Pouncey and to Castro and those guys. They played great. Antonio Brown also 5 catches, 78 yards. He's the only receiver of note today. Nobody else had more than 30 yards receiving besides that. Ladarius Green was overshot several times. He did get about 9 targets. So they are looking for Ladarius Green downfield. Thank goodness. I'm glad. He deserves it. He's very talented. But they overshot him several times today, so he didn't get to do much. And again, not much out of Jesse or Rodgers or Kobe Hamilton. I think each of them had 1 or 2 catches apiece. Nothing special, but a couple timely conversion plays. On defense, a couple guys I wrote down. I just wrote down names here. I didn't write down exact stats. I wrote down my defensive notes today are Ryan Shazier, Sean Davis, Bud Dupree, Artie Burns. These guys are awesome. I've been touting these guys for weeks. Ryan Shazier, once again, leads the team in tackles. He has 6 tackles, plus 2 assisted. He gets a sack today. He's just undercutting running backs, hitting the hole. He had a couple shots in the hole that were amazing tackles. He's just been on fire. I mean, you can't ask for a better linebacker side to side. Breaking up plays in the backfield, I think he had 3 tackles for a loss. He snuffed out a couple of plays where he hit the quarterback and caused overthrows in the snow. He's just all over the place. He's the team's leader. Lawrence Timmons has been amazing this season and playing great. He played good again today. But Ryan Shazier has turned into the alpha back for us. He's the main linebacker on this team. And he's going to be the franchise guy going forward. His speed and his ability to sniff out plays, especially disrupting the running game and getting in the backfield, are just excellent. He also defends a few passes today across the middle. He does a good job guarding tight ends for the most part. Sean Davis, this guy was like the MVP on defense today. I think he had 1.5 sacks total. I think I had him for an extra sack that he wasn't given credit for. But I have him for 1.5 sacks total. He's in the backfield all day. He reminds me of Troy Polamalu in that he can read plays and get in the backfield. You just see him, they're using him a lot more on blitzes from the outside. He's disrupting a lot of passers. He's deflecting balls. He's reading a lot of screenplays. He jets in the backfield and he has that closing speed to get to either quarterbacks or close in on running back plays. And he's making a lot of disruptions. He's either getting tackles for a loss or he's getting sacks. Him blitzing is turning into the new Troy Polamalu way of getting in the quarterback's backfield and fielding their vision. So I've been touting Sean Davis for weeks now. You guys have heard my channel. If you watch this, you know how I feel about Sean Davis. He played amazing today. He was in there on 6-7 tackles. He had 1.5 sacks. He just made a ton of plays today. Also could have had a pick, but we'll stay on this. Bud Dupree, I think it's his 2nd or 3rd game back. I think it's his first official start today. He's been playing for about 3 weeks. He came back officially in the starting lineup today, and man, he played great. I think he had 2 sacks on his own today, plus a couple that he was in the backfield that he didn't get credit for. So 2 full sacks plus a few other ones in there as well. He just got to the quarterback off the edge. He showed some speed that he hasn't shown before. He was closing on tackles. He was finishing. He was getting back in the backfield. He also had a tackle for a loss on the running back. He's playing very good right now, and he's starting to get back into his full form. You see guys like Ladarius Green and guys like Bud Dupree getting back from injury, getting better and better each week, making more and more of an impact, and being stand-up guys. And with these rookies playing as well as they are, and with these guys returning from injury, we're going to have a heck of a team come playoff time if these guys can all stay on the same page. Because adding back guys like Green and guys like Dupree with lineups that have emerging guys, like Shazier, like these rookies like Sean Davis and Artie Burns, amazing. Stephon Tuitt played well today as well. He also had a sack. Playing without Cam Hayward and Javon Hargrave must be very tough, but he played very well today in there by himself. Made some good plays on the line. And Artie Burns had interception today again. Did some good stuff on the slants, made a few good open field tackles that were nice. But he did get another interception today, which was a big, timely momentum turnaround kind of interception. Big play, which I believe, I don't have his exact stats, but I think that's his third interception in his 6 starts so far. I think he started 6 games so far for us, and he has 3 picks. So, amazing trajectory. He's doing really, really well. He's getting better and better at coverage on deep plays. He's not getting burned as much. He did get beat for a touchdown on an over-the-middle play, but it was sort of a bang-bang play in the red zone with the snow, so I'm not going to fault him too hard for that. But I'm really enjoying where Davis and Burns are going together in this. And put Javon Hargrave in there as well. He's been excellent when he's in there too. So, again, those 4 guys stood out on defense to me. William Gay also had a pick, again, that was returned for a touchdown that was called back. So 27-20 is the final score. On the back of Le'Veon Bell's 3 rushing touchdowns and 300-yard from scrimmage day. Again, 236 on the ground, Steelers rushing record. So you can't say enough good things about Le'Veon Bell. Running and pounding the ball and playing good defense, getting our linebackers healthy, having Bell run the offense and letting Ben kind of manage and do his thing with Brown and Green when he gets the chance. So what do you guys think of this offense? What do you think of the way they're choosing to run it right now? What do you think of the play calls? What do you think of the fact that Pittsburgh has 18 sacks now in the last 4 games? They were last in the league before this. In the last 4 games, they're one of the top 7 or 8 teams in the entire league in sacks. Getting better pressures, dialing up better blitzes. So what do you guys think overall? What do you think of this game? Who do you think stood out? Who do you think deserves praise? And who's going to be the AFC North Division champion come the end of Week 17? Because my money is on these Steelers. This team is dangerous, ladies and gentlemen. This team is here to stay. So I will see you guys next week where hopefully I'm not so sick and rambly. Until then, guys, it's been Football Focus. Talk to me down in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe, and tell your friends to come see this guy because otherwise the Grinch will steal Christmas and come get you. Have fun, guys. See you next week.